What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the basement for episode 8. The hilarity starts immediately. First off this week has been Mark Miller's new project with JR Jr., Kick Ass. Question is, did it kick ass, or did we as the consumer get our asses kicked? And I think I speak for everybody when I say it kicked fucking ass. Boys?
I'd just like to thank our writers, all 5 of them, for coming up with his monologue this week. It was that or Leno, and they chose to go with us, and I appreciate that.
A lot of those assholes are still on strike.
Well, we don't pay them.
No.
Right.
That's why they're on strike.
Scabs. I will say that Mark Miller is hit or miss for me. I think that sometimes his shit is very, it's too cynical, doesn't fit the mold. This was good. I thought this was a perfect match.
I've honestly liked Miller since Ultimates. I liked him on Fantastic Four. Basically, the idea here is it takes place in the real world, and this kid hands you the question of, you know, they talk about comics being in the mainstream media. They talk about how a lot of the movies recently have sucked, and it hands you the idea, with all of these lunatics in the world, and with comics being in the mainstream media, how come none of these assholes ever tried to be a superhero before? How come nobody's ever realistically just put on tights and tried to fight fucking crime? And that's what goes on here. And, you know...
It doesn't end well for the kid.
No, it really doesn't.
It really doesn't end well for the kid, man.
As one might expect if you were stupid enough to put on tights and try to fight crime.
It was his first try, too.
Yeah, his first run, and he got his...
I was hooked in the first 3 pages. I didn't have a lot of hope for this book. I picked it up purely to review on the show, and I was so glad I did. You might have seen the posters running around for it. Some of the stores might have printed the stuff out online. Mark Miller did all of the advertising himself.
Yeah.
He couldn't afford much, obviously, because maybe you've seen I think there was one ad page in Wizard.
No, but I'll tell you what he did that was fucking brilliant. He did a viral video for it that went out on the net. He has milked the fuck out of his MySpace page. It was a great move on his part, and stuff was surprisingly good. I mean, this was a weird mix.
The main character actually has his own MySpace page, and in the future, as the series progresses, he's going to be interacting with his fans on the MySpace page.
And updating the MySpace
brilliant.
What is the? Is it just Kick-Ass? MySpace.com?
Yeah, I believe it's Kick-Ass. I found it actually. He's on our MySpace page on Pete'sBasement.com and MySpace / Pete's Basement. You can find him somewhere on there.
So it's MySpace.com/Kickass?
Yeah, it should be.
Just make sure you type that in correctly.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to find some weird leather-bound, fisting type shit.
You're talking about me. You're talking about me and my Horny Hulk, but you're talking about fisting, right?
For those who missed it,
edit that out.
For those who missed it, the new Hulk came out this week. Last week, excuse me. And Ramon kind of was wondering why they haven't made Pink Hulk for a super horny Hulk. And that turned into a conversation that literally...
I need a drink.
Yeah, we almost called a priest.
Nothing stronger than beer in the house?
Horny Hulk. Horny Hulk. Horny Hulk.
It's going to happen. It really will.
What would you do if the Hulk got horny?
Run. I would run.
The man can jump 3 miles in a single bound.
I would run and hide in a bunker somewhere in the depths of New Jersey where no one would look.
Oh, God. We gotta move. Yeah, no, Hulk doesn't go to Jersey.
I don't think New Jersey exists in the Marvel Universe anyway.
And perhaps rightly so.
Yeah.
One thing that did come out this past week that was really good was Daredevil, newest one, concludes the story with Mr. Fear, was number 105. And Adam actually brought up a great line. What did you say after you read this issue?
Daredevil's going to be the first Marvel superhero to kill himself. Everybody who writes him beat the living monkey shit out of him.
This is right up there with Frank Miller.
This is really this is horrible, man. I mean, like every girl who goes near Daredevil ends up either in a mental institution, strung out, or dead.
Yeah.
This was a fucked up storyline. I thought it was great.
It's drawn great. Brubaker is really, really stretching his fucking S&M muscle on this one. Because Lord knows by the end of this issue, I was really convinced I was reading, a fucking porn book. Guys having, at the end of the book, spoiler alert, by the end of the book, Mr. Fear's banging like prison guards.
Yep.
Yes. That was hot.
I mean,
female prison guards.
Yeah, that's a good caveat. This isn't Oz. But Daredevil is sitting in his room crying to himself at the end of the book. He's sitting there crying. He's like, oh, this can't be...
Mr. Fear basically wins. He loses, but he wins. You really should... The trade will probably be out in a week or 2, because, the turnaround on these fucking things is no time at all. Definitely pick this up.
Yeah,
and the past 6 issues, actually, was also the Brubaker arc.
Yeah.
And it all ties in together. It's been a year-long fuck fest for Matt Murdock, and I don't mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Pick it up. You will definitely enjoy it. You will not go wrong.
Agreed. Definitely agree. I haven't enjoyed Daredevil this much in years, man. Brubaker. Well, I mean, whatever. Marvel's definitely milking Brubaker for all he's worth. He's ushering in single-handedly some of the best stories this company has had in years.
Oh, yes,
Cap 35 keeps it going, man. I talk on it, man. I loved it.
Red Skull's great.
Loved it.
I love the way they're making the Red Skull be this ultimate villain, which he always should have been, but he kind of got downgraded.
Yeah.
And now he's just brilliant and evil. He belongs right up there next to Dr. Doom nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Brubaker's written him to be like the Marvel version of the Joker. I mean, he's the baddest motherfucker that they've pulled out of the works. He's still writing a really great Captain America that's not Steve Rogers. I'm
really looking forward to seeing Bucky get back at Dr. Faustus and Arnim Zola for all the shit they put him through in the past couple of issues.
I agree, but I still think the best part of this issue was the cliffhanger at the end with Agent 13.
Yes.
Oh, she knocked up.
See, you try to add a little suspense. You try to add a little suspense and just got to shit.
She's having Captain American baby.
Point.
He said spoiler alert.
You know?
He didn't say spoiler.
I don't think
I didn't say spoiler.
There you go.
But you guys might have seen the little cheese pop up on the right-hand side over there by Steve. Usually does, and then it turns green and flashes red at you, because that's what cheese does when it spoils. Flashes red at you. Open up the refrigerator, looks
Was he
radioactive
drinking
and
before I
shit.
showed up?
I was.
He pretended
Yeah,
I have a 5 o'clock rule during the week, but Saturday's noon,
He
man.
pretended this was the first one. That was
I have nothing stronger in the house because it's finished.
check the corner.
for a reason.
Oh, man.
So, continuing the Marvel vein, man, what else is in this stack?
The Ultimate line is just continuing to be fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Ultimate Spider-Man came out, and I love the Amazing Friends storyline.
Yeah.
Bendis can write his ass off when it comes to Spidey, and I love what he's doing with Ultimate. I was the biggest fan in the 80s of Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends, and watching, at this point, Liz Allen last issue turn into Firestar, and Iceman's around, and one of his pals in school figures out that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, which was really cool. It gives, his supporting cast a lot more fucking intelligence that, hey, Spidey's here and Pete's never here. It steps them above Lois Lane, basically. One thing I'm really upset about, and of course, if you notice the cover, Magneto does show up at the end of the issue to claim the new mutant that kind of shows up. But the only thing that displeases me about this is, I'm sorry, I don't like Stuart Imonen's work, however you pronounce his name, I don't know. But I really, really wish that Mark Bagley was back, or Ed McGuinness, or me, or something. Fuck it. I don't like it. I don't like me. I'll draw a little stick figure. This guy's artwork, I'm sorry, man. This guy's artwork looks like the little stick figure gifts that you see on MySpace.
God, it wasn't.
You know what? I've liked Stuart Immonen's work for a while. He was a weird choice for this book. I'm not a huge fan of Ultimate Spidey, but I will say that they had a much broader range of choices than this, and I think this was a weird decision.
It just doesn't fit the character. It doesn't fit the motif, the style of the book, how happy-go-lucky it is. It's just, I don't know. Remember when Sal Buscema came back on Spectacular Spider-Man and he was drawing like fucking squares and shit?
Yeah.
God, I hated that too.
What did it look like?
Squares and shit. You gotta do squares and shit.
Yeah, you have the little fucking nervous tick when you say it.
Yeah, squares and shit.
Ultimate X-Men.
Oh, man.
This book is just raw.
Just pick this book up and turn to the last page.
Let me just say this. I have to acknowledge that you guys all recommended this to me. I had dropped this book about 40 issues ago. I picked it up sporadically. This issue fucked me up and was fantastic. It was probably one of the best X-Men books I've read in any of the 25 fucking X series they have out right now.
Right.
Spoiler alert, seeing Wolverine get his arm torn the fuck off and then get shanked with it alone
Apocalypse is badass, man.
was possibly one of the best X moments ever. I'm really shocked at Salvador LaRocca's artistic choice not to make that a bigger moment. For people who've been reading the book,
That could have been a splash page.
In Ultimate X-Men, you find out that it's a completely different setup than the mainstream universe. Cable is actually a future version of Wolverine without a healing factor and one arm. And you found that out like 10 issues ago, 20 issues ago.
And then you realize why.